Bliss, everyone. Welcome to a brand new weekly reading. Today is Sunday, 1:11 p.m. Central Time, 11:11 a.m. my time here in Arizona. So divinely connected and aligned with all the ones. We're going to talk more about ones and zeros and numerology today because we have some very exciting energy to speak about. We've got the 1010 portal opening up this week amongst many other activations in astrology, numerology, and spirit messages. Plus, we'll do a card reading at the end of this so that we can all feel into the present moment and into the rest of this week together. So go ahead and let me know how you're all feeling. Comment below where you're from, what you're doing. I know last week we had a lot of energy. I spoke a lot about that rebirth and transformation with Pluto going direct last week. We're going to talk a little bit more about that this week because the influence is still there. So if you've had an intense last week or even this weekend, know that it's probably aligned with that Pluto going direct last week and some of that rebirthing and transformation that's occurring. So we will go over that. So let me know how you're doing as I get connected with you all here, just arranging my cards, getting my notes all ready. I took tons of notes today because there's just so much going on. I was getting lots of downloads, lots of my ET galactic guides coming through just before I came online with you all today, and some really cool things coming up, like some really exciting news. So let's go ahead and go over a review just of last week while we all get settled in. Feel free to take some deep breaths, allowing yourself to release any tension of last week. Allow yourself to reflect on last week as well so that we can really feel into where we've been, so that we can feel into where we are now, and then later on in this reading where we are going in just a little bit. So just let yourself chill, let yourself release any distraction, let yourself release any tension, let yourself move into your inner being as we do this review of last week before we go into next week, or this week, this upcoming week. All right, so last week we had the Ancestral Wisdom card coming forth for the first card of the week last week. So that Ancestral Wisdom card really gave us a lot of understandings, the ability to reflect on our entire lineage, our mother, our mother's mother, our mother's mother's mother, right? And same thing with our fathers, and the lineage that we come from, the roots of our being, and understanding what patterns, what characteristics, what aspects of ourself we reflect from that rooted being of our lineage, and also which ones we're here to reconnect or realign or redirect or change or challenge. A lot of patterns in our family line are also there to be cleared, right? So we're feeling into that awareness as well. So that's what we felt like with the beginning of the week last week. Then we also had the enchantment card in the middle of the week. We also had the Pluto energy going direct in the middle of the week on October 3rd last week. So we felt into the magic of transformation, the magic of that ability for things to just switch completely in a given's notice. Sometimes that means a very sudden, abrupt change that we weren't expecting. Sometimes that means facing parts of our shadow or connecting with parts of ourselves that we haven't connected with in a while. That can be a little uncomfortable sometimes. So we were feeling into a lot of intensity and sometimes even some surfacing of tension or irritation or irritability or just any energy that's kind of been underneath the surface, really wanting to come forth for that final completion of the rebirth, allowing us to face the truth of our feelings, of our awareness, and then move into a new beginning, which we are going to be feeling more this week as well. And remember, we do this in cycles, right? So we're always kind of repeating the cycle of rebirth into new beginnings, into stabilization, into acceptance and awareness and evolution, which then creates another rebirth, right? So we're always going through that cycle, and it's really fun for us to be able to feel into that flow, knowing that every cycle is a little different, and as we evolve, we're like a spiral, right? We're an expanding spiral. We're going up, up, up. So it's always going to be a new version of that phase or a new aspect of yourself coming through in those phases. So it's also about reflecting on all of the times that we've cycled this year, right? And allowing yourself to see how far you've come. So with the enchantment of change and the the experience of that, I'm skipping ahead of myself. We moved into aspiration. We moved into this ability to aspire for more, to really encourage ourselves to move into that next level of our career, that next level of our love life, that next level of our self love, that next level of our family relationships and awareness and wisdom, next level of our spirituality. Okay, so a lot of those aspirations coming forth for the weekend, which we're in now, as aspiration was the last card of last week's reading. So go ahead and comment below also on what you're aspiring towards moving into this week. What are your aspirations? What are your goals? Feel free to start that kind of listing that we talked about, because last week we talked about lists. We talked about the new rhythm of productivity in our life and how making lists of things that we need to bring into our life or need to release or need to understand or need to do can be really effective in establishing a new understanding of our movement forward and how we're going to be productive in that. So feel free to list some aspirations for us and we'll all discuss that. I'm sure a lot of us have similar aspirations as well, which can bring us together even more as a soul tribe, this beautiful web of light community that we created here on the Rissa Vibes channel. So I just want to take this moment to thank you all for being such active participants in this community and being so vulnerable and transparent and loving of each other. I see it every time that I join this live with you all, and I get so much out of these readings because I get to see all of this community evolving and loving each other, and we step into a little portal when we start these readings. We step into a little world, a different world, and I know I feel it when I turn on the camera and I start talking to all of you and I see all of you interacting. It just feels so good to be with like-minded individuals that are here to evolve and love each other and expand in their consciousness. So thank you for being here, and share these readings with whoever you feel like needs this community or would want to be a part of it or can add something to it. Please feel free to share these readings to add more people to subscribe so we can have even more of this web of light community expanding and connecting together. So let's go ahead and say hello to everyone. Speaking of that, let's segue into that. What a good little way to move into that. Kiwi's here. Hey, Kiwi. Good to see you. So good to see you. Bahamian Princess, hello, beautiful. Hello. Anita is here. Namaste. Namaste to you, darling. Leslie is here. Hi, Viber. Sending you lots of love from Jupiter, Florida. Yes, love it. Jasenia is here as well. Hello, beautiful Jasenia, also from Florida. Anita is from Texas. Good to see you there. Maria's here as well. Family blessings and beautiful souls. Yes, I love that. I feel that so much. Linda's here. Hello, Linda. I got your text message, by the way. I read everything that you wrote and I just didn't get a chance to write back, but I love all the synchronicities that you told me about from last week's reading. I'm so loving that you're in alignment with that and that you have a friend with you today. So hello, friend. And Shaniqua's here. Hello, beautiful souls. Hello. Hedwig's here. Hello, soul brothers and sisters. Yes. Letitia's here. Tisha, good to see you. And Kiwi says to spend more time on some coursework as one of her aspirations, figuring out how I want to accumulate funds in my life. Yes, abundance aspirations. I feel that. I know that we're all feeling that too. We'll add some energy to that. Loving that. And then Kayla's here as well. Hello, everyone. Sending love. So good to have you all here. Kiwi follows up with saying, it's crazy because I was having some head pain and feel it leaving now. Thank you for all the positive energy. Yay! Clearing pain, bringing in abundance, all of your aspirations and goals for all of you coming true as we connect here and send light and love to each other, sending light where light is needed. Let's go ahead and get into this week coming up, this beautiful week that we're entering, October 6th to October 13th. That is what we're reviewing today. So let's go ahead and get into it. We've got a lot to talk about. I want to start with the spirit messages of this week. These are all of the messages that I received personally through my own intuition, my own connection with my guides, and through meditations and different client readings that I've had, just seeing patterns in the way in which energy is showing up for people this week. So the first message, such an important message, and it requires a little deep breath. So I want you to breathe deeply and softly and smoothly as I say this message, because it will bring in the energy of it. Be delicate with yourself. Be gentle, be kind, be caring. Your relationship with feeling good is the biggest priority. Let yourself feel good. Just soak in that for a second. Feel the gentleness, feel the delicate, feel the beautiful kind of softness that comes over your heart and over your body. If you feel a little tingle, let that feel good. Just let yourself feel good this week. It's so important to be kind to ourselves. It's so important to be loving. It's so important to be unconditionally loving with ourselves. No matter what happens, no matter what we do, no matter what we think about, no matter what circumstance we find ourselves in, we have to be gentle and kind to ourselves. We are spiritual beings. We are light beings in this physical body, this vessel. Some people call it a meat suit. I think it's so funny, this meat suit, because it's not really us. These bodies, we're kind of not trapped, but we're kind of stuck in here a little bit, and we're used to being light. So when we're experiencing contrast, when we're experiencing things that are uncomfortable for us, when we're experiencing intense energy, like that Pluto going direct last week, that rebirth, we want to be kind and gentle. And we want to let those experiences, those intensities, those chaotic moments be an example of the importance of being gentle with ourselves, the necessity to be delicate and kind to ourselves and caring. It's so important, because if we're not caring and kind and we start beating ourselves up, or we start blaming ourselves or creating these negative assumptions where we are the root of everything bad, or our shadow is consuming us, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, we really lose a lot of ourselves, because we're surrendering to more of this meat suit, more of this body, and not so much of the spirit. We're choosing in those moments to be more in alignment with that physical realm, that 3D realm, that materialistic realm, that egoic realm, instead of lining up with our spirit, our 5D, our unconditional love. So choose unconditional love. And when you choose it for yourself first, and you become gentle and kind and caring and delicate with yourself first, it immediately starts to exude from you for others. You immediately start to be more delicate and kind and caring to those people in your life that you maybe didn't expect to be. So let yourself start at the beginning, start at the core, start at you, and be delicate and kind. Your relationship with feeling good is a priority. It is a priority. It is. No matter what anybody says, no matter what you may think, no matter what you were told growing up, your relationship with feeling good, feeling joy, feeling bliss, feeling love is a priority. It is important. So if you have some ancestral wisdom from last week that taught you, or some conditioning that taught you that it wasn't okay to feel good, or that you had to work relentlessly without any self-care, that you had to give all of your love and care to other people and put yourself last, if any of those patterns are in your ancestral line, it's time for us to clear it. It's time to choose to feel good first, because that's how we fill our cup, and that's how we run over into all of the people in our life. So be delicate and kind. Protect your energy goes right along with that, as another spirit message of this week, really allowing yourself to not fall back into old habits. If what we were just experiencing, that overwhelming care for others without caring for yourself, that people-pleasing energy relates to you, or that just overworking, workaholic energy relates to you, or whatever other aspect of that energy that comes up, just don't fall back into those old habits. Choose to stay committed to feeling good. Choose to stay committed to feeling positive. Choose to stay committed to that rebirth, that new transformation, that positive transformation, those miracles, those answered prayers that we've been experiencing for the past few weeks, months, and more coming. Choose to stay committed to that energy. and love yourself and protect your energy. Keep your energy safe. Don't let other people push energy on you. Don't let other people put negative assumptions on you. Don't let other people assume your fate. They're not you. They're not connected to your higher self like you are. They don't have that ability to control where you go or what you do. They don't have that. They like to try to say that because they want you to think that. Because if you think that, then you give your power to them and then they have you. So protect your energy. Don't surrender to other people's experiences. Don't surrender to other people's negative thoughts or emotions. Don't surrender to other people's assumptions of lack or inability or trauma or drama, right? Just let that go and surrender to your aspirations. Everyone is going through this intense energy, and it's really kind of reflecting and expressing itself differently in everyone. It's another wave of it, I should say. Another wave of it started last week when Pluto went direct, which we talked about a little bit last week. Well, we talked about it a good amount last week, and I want to talk a little bit about it today because it's still affecting us. And so some people are really activated. Some people are feeling that positive transformation and they're just like running with it. They're like running with the wind behind them, and the wind is pushing them forward, and it just feels great. And they're like having all these activations and synchronicities and amazing visions and intense intuitive experiences, which can also cause confusion for some and a little bit of that manic energy or manic behavior. So that's also part of it. So there's that side, which is like extremely activated, very intense, very high vibrational, and almost to the point of confusion for some or mania for some. So it has to be pulled into balance. And then the other side is people going through a lot of like trauma. It's kind of like trauma, but it's more like a tower moment. If you know the tarot, it's more like everything around them is falling apart. Everything is kind of unexpected. Nothing's really making sense. Nothing's really staying solid. Nothing's really stable. Everything is just kind of falling apart. That's the other side of it. So some people are really activated and they're like really feeling great and they're feeling like in flow, but they're also like a little bit too much heightened in that. And then other people are like, oh my gosh, I can't find spirit anywhere. All I am is in my shadow, and I'm like completely just falling apart. I don't know what to do, and everything is crumbling around me. And then there's some people that are like a mixture of both of them, right? Like if you might be a little happy medium, or maybe you're feeling the waves of both in different times. I break this down for you for the sake of you understanding that you're not alone. You are not alone. There are so many people feeling this. There are so many people feeling it in their body. There are so many people feeling it in their heart. There are so many people feeling it and seeing it in their life experiences through synchronicities and just all of these crazy things happening at once, all these moving parts. And then some of the people are like in the clouds so much that they're like not really seeing what's going on. They're just kind of like in this like crazy like mind space where they're just kind of above everything and they can't really focus on anything. So not to say crazy in a bad thing, because I use crazy and weird in a positive way, because everybody's a little crazy, everybody's a little weird, and the stigma around that is just so silly to me. So I always like to banish the stigma by speaking about it in a positive way. So if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, if you're feeling a little bit discombobulated, if you're feeling a little crazy, a little bit weird, a little bit super activated or not activated at all, know that you're not alone, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm doing a special this week and until I leave for Belize. I have only a bit of time available every day until I leave to Belize, so I have kind of a limited schedule, but it's got some nice chunks of openness there too. So I decided to do a special for anyone who's feeling a little bit out of sorts or just needing a little bit of extra energy or boost. I'm doing all of my specialty readings for only $90. So that's past life readings, energy cleansings for balancing, what else? Mediumship, and what's the other one? Cosmic connections. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to reach out to me, because I am doing those readings for only $90 up until I leave for Belize. As soon as my schedule fills, up until that point, then I'll just stop the deal. But I know that people need support right now, and also don't hesitate. I'm trying to put two things together. Don't hesitate to reach out to me and just email me if you need a little guidance. I also do that intuitive counseling or consulting. So if you need to just ask me some questions or get some kind of organization of your thoughts through me, I can do that for you as well. So just reach out to me, and reach out to the people that you know are like-minded during this time when everybody's going through it together, because we're going through it differently, but we're also going through it together. So don't be afraid to reach out to your friends who are spiritual, and even your friends who aren't spiritual, who you know are really intellectual about change, or they're really self-reflective or introspective, or they're really wise and they're just naturally that way. Reach out to the people that you know can support you or give you some understanding or give you that voice outside yourself that can bring some clarity. Don't feel hesitant to do that, because it's really important that we come together during this time when we're going through intense energy. And feel free right now to comment on how the intense energy has been kind of expressing itself in your life if you need any guidance there. I'll do my best to answer as much as I can without distracting too much from our reading today. But I want everybody to have that platform and that ability to communicate with each other, to support each other, and to know that everybody is going through this intense energy differently, but together. It's okay. You're going to be okay. I'm with you every step of the way. That's why I do these readings, so that you know you're not alone, and that you can understand a little bit about what influence may be causing you to feel the way you're feeling or experience what you're experiencing, and hopefully give you some wisdom and advice and guidance on how to navigate out of it. So feel free to comment with questions. Feel free to rely on each other and lean on each other in that way too. And the main thing with this is, when you're feeling that intense energy, when you're feeling like a lot of chaos, or you're just feeling like you're trying to get things done, maybe you're feeling just a little disorganized because you're really high vibrationally activated and you're kind of not able to focus on one thing. Just do your best to do a little bit better every day. That includes if you're in your shadow. Just do a little bit better every day. Just try to bring a little bit more light in. Try to ground a little bit more every day. As long as you're doing just a little bit, 10, 20%, 5%, 1% on some days, if that's all you can do, that's okay, right? So just do a little bit better every day, and that will activate positive change. That will amplify the energy, because the energy is so intense right now. Anything that you do becomes intensified, so that can be positive or uncomfortable, right? So let yourself pick the positive and just do one more positive thing, or one more healthy habit, or one more spiritually meditative conscious decision a day, right? And that will absolutely amplify that energy quicker than in any other time of the year, really, because we've got a lot of things going on this week. And stay in your heart. Stay in your heart. Allow yourself to feel into your heart space, because we're so activated, whether it be in our shadow, or whether it be in our high vibration, our spirit, or whether we're just kind of in the middle. We're really activated right now with all this intense energy. And sometimes that activation can just start getting really intense in the headspace, where we don't really notice it, but we start to feel all that energy right here in the head. That's if we're really crown heavy. I'm pretty crown heavy. So if you're not crown heavy, maybe you feel it really intensely in your third eye, or maybe you feel it in your throat chakra, or maybe you're heart heavy. Maybe you have a lot of that energy in your heart, or in your solar plexus, or even in your root. So focus on your chakras as well, and notice which ones may be holding a lot of that intensity. And if you feel like that intensity is kind of building in one area, do some work to move that area. Maybe it's in the solar plexus, so you do some circles and you breathe deeply and you kind of feel that energy opening up, or you just move here. If it's in the throat, maybe you do some neck rolls, you release some tension, you breathe deeper in the throat, you allow energy to flow, because what you're doing there is you're kind of trying to break up the energy so that it flows into other areas and balances. So you can kind of imagine that energy flowing into other areas. It's kind of like a glow stick almost, like, you crack one part of the glow stick and the rest kind of starts to go. But you got to keep cracking it. You got to keep moving those other parts so that it doesn't get stuck and the light doesn't shine in other areas. So make sure that you get all that light activated throughout the body and not just in one spot. Allow yourself to really move. And we do that with the spine. We really pay attention to the spine with that. And that's how we can kind of break up some of that intense energy. So that's for somebody. I know there's people that are feeling that way. I know Martha reached out to me. So Martha, if you're watching, I know that one is for you as well. Reaching out to me about some energy in the solar plexus you've been feeling. And a lot of other people have been discussing that too. So, and Kiwi says me. Yeah. So anybody that feels that, definitely allow yourself to move. And when we stay in our heart, we allow ourselves to feel. We're able to, the heart is like a gateway. It allows us to feel where our spirit is connected to our body. And so we can kind of start to feel more energetically throughout our body when we connect with the heart first. So you can go into the heart, and then once you're in the heart, you'll start to notice other energy signals from other parts of your body and other chakras. And that might be an easy way to connect to those other chakras if you're not used to feeling it. Okay, so let's see how you're all doing before we get into some of this 1010 portal energy. We've got Ebony Jones here as well. Hello. Hedwig is here. Hello. Empress Trina. I love that. Hello. Love to all. First time catching live. So nice to have you here. And Rachel is here as well. So real. I hear you, girl. I hear you. And Kiwi says, thank y'all for the positive energy. Absolutely love. Kayla said, needed this reminder to not give in to negativity or others' doubts, especially about my dreams. Yes, absolutely. Our aspirations and dreams, because they've been coming up so much for us lately, and because we pulled that aspiration cards for this weekend, we're really having to battle and face some of those fears that come up and surface when we focus on our aspirations. And sometimes we don't focus on our goals, our dreams, our aspirations. We kind of ignore them, or we try to push them to the side because we're not comfortable with facing those fears of whether people will doubt us, or facing the people that do doubt us, or facing our own self-doubt, or facing our own fears surrounding our aspirations and dreams and goals. So it's time to face those fears. It's time to stay courageous. It's time to move forward and let those fears just fade away, and trust in your ability to just move forward and charge forward in belief in yourself, because you have nothing to lose, right? If you haven't really surrendered and jumped both feet into your goals and dreams yet, what do you have to lose? You are going to want to do that eventually. If you wait 20, 40 years, it's still going to be in the back of your head. It's still going to be something you wish you did. It's still going to be something you're passionate about. And you're always going to wonder, did I do it? If I would have done it, what would have happened? Why didn't I do it? So do it now. Let yourself believe in yourself for the first time. If it's your first time doing it in your life, it's worth it. It's never too late. It's never too late to accomplish your dreams. It's never too late to go forth and chase your dreams either, because really chasing your dreams, it's not really chasing your dreams, it's more becoming your dreams, because you already have your dreams. You don't have to catch them. You already have your dreams. You already know what your dreams are. And even if you don't, you have an idea. You have what it takes to get there. So you have that. You don't have to catch it. You just have to surrender to accepting your dreams and face whatever resistance you have in allowing yourself to become it. And then you just naturally become your dreams. So that's my advice to you. Let's see. Anita says, if you think everything is crumbling, hold on, look again, don't settle. Everything is as it should be and will get better. There are blessings around the corner. Keep looking. I love that, Anita. Thank you. That is beautiful. Yes, I love that. And Tisha says, yes, feeling it, doing it, letting go. Yes. Take off the top says, thank you, Greta. Yes, absolutely. So we're all feeling it, and we're all feeling inspired and empowered here, which is exactly what this Web of Light community does for us, and what these readings are doing for us every week. And I'm so proud of all of you for staying positive and choosing that energy and being loving of yourself and others through this. Okay. So let's get into the 1010 portal, because this is going to be another intense energy. So hold on to your seats. But it's going to be a really good one, okay? Because the 1010 portal is awesome. It is activating, it is aligning, it is emerging, it is reset and cleanse That's what it is. That's what I feel when I think about the 1010 portal. So let's talk a little bit about it because it starts on 1010, of course, October 10th, which is Thursday. So we're going to be feeling, and most of you are probably already feeling some elements of the 1010 portal because it usually starts picking up energy and picking up speed right when October hits. So really the 1010 portal is kind of where you start to really notice the energy expressing itself in more of a concrete and recognizable way. So you may already be feeling the energy, but now we're kind of moving into the understanding of what it is and what it's going to do for us. So 1010 portal opens until the end of the month. My guides told me it was going to kind of close mainly right around November 1st, 2019, which I thought was pretty funny because that just happens to be the day that my retreat in Belize is over. And we're going to be activating and experiencing a lot of this portal during that Belize trip. So I just thought it was funny that my guides told me it was going to end on that day because it makes sense. That day, November 1st, 2019 is 11119 in the date if you cut out the 20. And so and the 20, 2019, we've got a lot of 20 energy in this too, so I'll talk about that. Of course, 10 plus 10 is 20, so we've got that already there for the 1010 portal. So lots of synchronicities already when we just start to talk about this, and I haven't even expressed to you what it's going to do. So we're already knowing that that's going to be something that's going to come up. Tons of synchronicities, tons of alignment, tons of awareness of synchronicities and how to move through them, and kind of evidence of more portals opening up within it just in our own experience, where we'll be kind of feeling like we're in our own world, kind of like how we feel when we start these readings. So it's a transition portal, first of all, is what I want to say. The 1010 portal is a transition portal. It's allowing us to really understand why we've been repeating patterns and why it's important not to. And that's going to be on a personal level and a global level. Right now, we're actually, as a civilization, repeating a lot of patterns from Atlantis. And if you know a lot about Atlantis history, you also know about the globalization of Atlantis. And if you compare that to where we're at now in our civilization, we also see a lot about that as well, where there's an elite power, there's this drive to overpower the world or to control the world. There's that kind of energy of ruling the world and that need and desire to rule the world instead of all become harmoniously aligned with the world, instead of all being one. There's this kind of elitist mentality, this dominating mentality, this hyper masculine energy. And actually, Lemuria had this similar experience, another pattern of the civilization and globalization. And so we're repeating patterns on a global scale, and we're repeating patterns personally. So the 1010 portal is going to allow us to see that even more clearly, noticing it more clearly, having more synchronistic experiences that show us that. And we really want to understand through reflection, through wisdom, through awareness of the previous patterns, through Lemuria's understanding, through the history of Atlantis and understanding that, how we can kind of change, how we can do something different, how we can navigate this transformation, this transition differently. And so a lot of ideas and inspirations are going to come up. For example, just an example, you've got Greta, the climate change queen, the empowered teenager who is fighting for climate change across the world and just allowing us to really see how important it is to care more about everything and the harmony of everything versus the ability to overpower things. And you're hearing it from these little beings, these younger beings, these teenagers and even little kids. I just saw an 11-year-old talking about civil rights and equality in just such a profound way the other day. So there's a lot of these like little star seeds and little crystal children and little rainbow children that are coming from high vibrations from unseen world into our physical experience and are kind of now at that age where they can communicate their true energy and vibration, and they're bringing a lot of that change and transformation, allowing us to patterns from Atlantis or Lemuria or any other civilization. And so we also want to take that example for ourselves personally, right? Any very high vibrational kids that are around you, let them be wise for you. Let them tell you what they think about your life a little bit. Let them give you some words of wisdom. Ask them some questions about the way the world is, or ask them some questions about energy or their heart or love. And, without personal, just give them an opportunity to give you some words of wisdom, because these kids know a lot and we are learning so much from them, and also nature as well. So letting ourselves open up to wisdom through our heart space, and also understanding that we are in a new place of awareness and we are in a new place of alignment. The 1010 portal also kind of changes our concept of time a bit. So I got this message pretty interestingly, where my guides were saying that when we start this 1010 portal on Thursday, that we're going to feel it's so weird. As soon as I said that, I instantly had a flashback of when I talked about the 1010 portal last year, and it was on a Wednesday, and I had like an immediate memory of like this exact, it's like deja vu. And and they told me that. So I just got the example and the message that at the same time, that deja vu is going to be a big part of this concept of our time changing. We're going to start seeing into parallel understandings. We're going to start seeing into why we have deja vu and what it means. We're going to start to see more of that experience happening in our life. And we're also going to feel into kind of a slowing of time, and also like an acceleration of time. Tisha said my whole body just got chills. Yeah, so did mine, because I had that download like right. It was like woo. So yeah, we're gonna be feeling that parallel, that understanding of how all of our realities, our past lives, our future lives, our present selves, our our childhood, all of these phases of our life, how they all kind of align into an understanding of a bigger picture. And so that's what that 1010 portal is also going to do. That download was so intense, I could feel it through my whole body. I'm kind of adapting right now to this. And we're also going to be seeing behind the veil. We're seeing behind the veil with our heart. And so that's why it's so important to move into our heart space, because we're literally able to, when we move into our heart, we're able to see into those parallel realities. We are able to see into the spirit world connection and our ability to understand more about ourself and our oversoul. That thinning of the veil is my beliefs retreat, and that's why I named it that, because in October, the thinning of the veil is that's the theme. The thinning of the veil. That's October's theme every year, because in October, spirit world and physical world become more close than they've ever been throughout that year. So that's why Halloween is a thing, because people in ancient civilizations and traditions picked up this energy of being able to access more of spirit and more of that energy of ghosts and ghouls, and also angels and ascended masters, but they leave that part out because we're in a fear-based society, so that's fine. But but that's really what October is about, and that's what Halloween is about as well. And we have other holidays and traditions throughout civilization and throughout time and throughout history that shows us that there have been celebrations and meditative spiritual events that have surrounded and supported these opening ups of portals, so that people could really experience the fullness of that energy and get the full wisdom that they need. By the way, I still have seats open for the Belize retreat. So if you are being called to join me in Belize to dive deep into activations with this portal, definitely email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, because we will be closing the entries pretty soon here. So probably by 10/10 is when we'll close the entries for the retreat, because we are doing the retreat from October 26th to November 1st. So probably the 10th will be the last day to sign up for that. So definitely email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, or on Instagram @readingsbyrissa to sign up for that retreat. And so also a couple more portal downloads here before I read your comments, because I know that you guys are getting all these fiery activations too and intuitive hits, so I can't wait to read those. But we're also going to have a reset of the things that need it. So anything that needs a reset, anything that needs a clearing, anything that needs a clean slate is going to be cleared on the 10th, because that's really what the 10 represents. The 10 represents the 0. Let's break it down. So we've got the 10, right? So 0 is our consciousness, our spirit, our oneness, our entire God presence and the presence of universal God. And then the 1 is our alignment and our new beginning, our emerging forward into physical alignment and awareness and understanding of that God consciousness, that awareness, that oneness. So the 10 itself represents the combination of those messages. And so we are having a bit of a reset with anything that needs it, so that that God consciousness can enter that part of your life and align you with what you need to do and move forward into and emerge into, given that energy. We're going to also feel more alert, more activated, and see more signs and synchronicities that also represent and reflect that ability to align. So when you see synchronicities, when you see signs, when you see the 111s and the 1111s and the 222s, and you see maybe you're just talking to your friend about how your grandma comes to you in feathers, and then you walk 5 steps away from that lunch date and you see a feather on the floor. When you have those synchronicities, it's letting you know that you're in alignment. If you start to have synchronicities that are reflecting a negative experience, which I just had somebody speak to me about this, so that's why I'm bringing it up. Some people are having synchronicities where they're seeing kind of, they have a dream about something negative happening and then it happens, or they see kind of a fear-based experience happen before them, and then for the rest of the day they keep seeing evidence of that fear-based experience as if it's like chasing them or as if it's like coming towards them. If you're having something like that, you're not cursed, you're not like anything like that. It's just that you've aligned with a negative energy, meaning that you've aligned with a negative timeline. It doesn't mean that you're like being possessed or anything like that. If you choose that's what it means, then you'll feel experiences of that, but that's your own mind doing that for you. So it really just means that you're aligning with a synchronistic, you're in alignment, you're in synchronicity with a negative timeline, with a timeline that's destructing for you. So the reason why you're seeing those synchronicities is to get you out of that. So to recognize the fear that is fueling those synchronicities, to recognize the thought forms that you continue to choose to have that's reflecting more of that, and allowing you the opportunity to choose differently by putting it in your face so you can see the difference. So that's really what that is. But a lot of us are going to be feeling a lot of those synchronicities and activations positively as well. And if you find yourself on a negative timeline, just start thinking positive, start feeling into more positive energies, bliss, gratitude, love, compassion, kindness. Watch this reading again if you start to feel it, so that you can kind of reconnect with the positive timeline energy as well, and connect to other people who are in that light also. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about for this portal before we move on to astrology. We don't have a lot of astrology to cover other than the full moon, which I'm going to do more coverage on that next week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. But before we end this 1010 portal discussion, also we have cleansing. Cleansing is a big one for this October month. And we talked about meditation, because meditation is the card for the month of October 2019, per the annual reading that I did at the beginning of the year. And so we pulled the meditation card for October because it is a cleansing of the mind. The meditation allows us to cleanse our mind. It also cleanses our body by giving us awarenesses on what our body needs for cleansing. And then we also end up cleansing our spirit fully, because we become more in alignment with our spirit. So anything that was resistant to our spirit fades away, so that we can merge with it. And that's also kind of where we find that balance from duality that we've been experiencing over the past couple of months. So let yourself meditate for the sake of cleansing. And this also includes cleansing from substances. A lot of us have been dealing with some of the intense energies by escaping into substances, whether it be alcohol or marijuana or other substances, or just prescription medication or whatever it is. and this also includes sugar and like over excessive eating patterns. These kind of addictions are just a result of us feeling like we need to fill voids because we're not facing why we have the voids. Instead, we're just trying to fill them without doing the actual work and facing, why is the void there? What void am I trying to fill with this? What do I feel? What does this do for me when I do it? When I behave this way, what is it doing for me? What is it supplying me? Okay, it's supplying me joy, or it's supplying me an escape, or it's supplying me fulfillment. Why do I need this fulfillment? What am I really seeking from this fulfillment, or this feeling of satisfaction, or this feeling of whatever it is that you're filling that void with? Why am I feeling that, right? Why am I needing that energy? And then you start to realize, oh, like I'm actually not comfortable with myself away. So when I'm alone, I start to overeat, or I'm not really able to feel good about or confident about my body. So then I don't eat anything, right? Or, oh, this is actually me filling a void of feeling sad and lonely because I lost this person. But really, need to I'm filling it with not that person, I'm filling it with the substance, and it's not even doing anything. So what about that person am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the love, the compassion. Well, then I should fill it with own self-love and self-compassion instead of alcohol or drugs, right? So allowing yourself to really focus on why you're reaching out to those substances and addictions, so that you can get an understanding of what void you're trying to fill, and find a healthy habit to fill that void that's actually going to make you whole and complete. Meditation will help you get clear on the specifics of that. So if you choose to meditate and set the intention to get to the bottom of that understanding, your spirit guides will absolutely swoop in and bring you the answers. You will get it in a immediate inspiration or thought, an aha moment as they call it, or you'll get it in a feeling, you'll understand, or you'll have a memory that tells you exactly what you needed to know or understand, or you'll get it in a message from a friend after your meditation when you have lunch with them, or you'll get it in a reading that'll just come up and it'll make sense and you'll feel it resonate throughout your body. So let yourself receive the answers, let yourself cleanse, let yourself choose cleansing energy and healthier habits. And like I said, I'm doing those $90 specialty readings. That includes the energy cleanse. So if you want an energy cleanse, it's $20 off. It's only $90. It's usually $111. So feel free to reach out to me, readingsbyrissa at gmail, and we'll do that for you as well. And then also some people are getting guidance to play a little bit spiritually, which can mean that they're getting a little bit of guidance to dabble in maybe a little mushroom experience, or a psilocybin or an LSD, or even maybe a little bit of cannabis. Some people are actually getting the intuition to indulge in that, but you have to recognize where you are in the spectrum. If you know that you're in the overuse of those things, then don't let your mind trick you into thinking that you're getting an intuition to make you smoke more cannabis, or make you drink more alcohol, or make you do more drugs. If you already know that you do too much of that, or you rely on that, or you're codependent on that, then you know that's not the message. If you're somebody who doesn't touch any of that stuff and is very rigid, and you're like very mind oriented, and you've been having a hard time relaxing or letting go, or just coming into your spirit, and you keep getting maybe an intuition, or some people keep trying to let you smoke a little bit of cannabis, maybe that's your higher self saying, hey, like, hit the joint one time, but don't go crazy, right? Let yourself use it as plant medicine, as what it's meant for. But advocating that for prescription medication. I'm not advocating that for alcohol, because I don't feel like alcohol does that. Although I will say that sometimes I am guided to drink a little bit to loosen up. So that can be a little bit of a gray area, but really want to be paying attention to the cleaner ways of spiritually playing with medicines, like plant medicines, cannabis, psilocybin, even Palo Santo, ayahuasca. Those kind of things are from the earth. They're plant-based, and they also have history over eons and eons in time of cleansing the spirit or activating the spirit. So sometimes that can be what your intuition is telling you, but you want to be really, really honest and integritous with yourself. Don't let your ego try to convince you of something that you know isn't really true. All right, let's see how you're all doing before we move into astrology. We've got a lot of comments here. So fun. Okay, Hedwig says, yes, Atlantis is heavy active now and we need to get out of this programming. Absolutely. And Anita says, are you having a retreat in Belize? Is it for anyone? Yes, Anita, I am having that retreat in Belize. It is for anyone. Anybody can sign up, and the information is on the community tab of this page, and you can go to the link in that post. I think there's like maybe a couple posts down, you'll see it. Also, you can just email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, and I can give you all the info. It's going to be amazing. 7 days in Belize, tapping into our intuition, developing our intuition. I'll be teaching some intuitive development classes, and then we'll also be doing daily meditation and yoga and a couple of really fun activating ceremonies as well. Let's see who else spoke about this. Kiwi said, I have a couple of deja vu in the past week. Yes, Marie says, me too. Yes, feeling this so in sync, Tisha says. And about my divine life partner, I think he's here, Kiwi said. Very fun. How exciting. And Rachel says, I'm having the same realization, Kiwi, after ending a cycle finally that's been foggy all year. Beautiful, beautiful. And Letitia says, I went on a soul recharge retreat yesterday. It was magical. I feel very blessed, but I've been doing a lot of crying, releasing as well, and parenting myself through it and gently feeling really proud of myself. Absolutely. That parenting, that ability to be kind to yourself, that ability to be gentle. Absolutely. Anita says, I use medical marijuana and able to function through physical pain. Absolutely. And I believe in the medical marijuana use. Absolutely. I'm talking more about people who are using it more recreationally or maybe using it in overabundance. I am a cannabis smoker. I use it for pain relief for my back and for my anxiety as well. But I also am very aware of the ways in which those things can become addictive just in the behavior, the habits of it. So I'm always about really just promoting balance. And so as long as you feel balanced and as long as you feel good and you feel, connected to all parts of you, then that's important, but I'm just talking about if it resonates to you. So sometimes these messages that I say, they're resonating to one person and not others. So just, leave it be if it doesn't end up resonating with you. She said, I ended all pharmaceutical drugs and serious treatment for multiple sclerosis 9 months ago and feel better than I felt in 15 years. Wow, that's beautiful with vitamins and cannabis. I love that. Thank you, Anita, for sharing that. I think that's absolutely beautiful, and I do believe in the healing qualities of our homeopathic and holistic ways of healing. So I am so proud of you for doing that and for getting that relief. Letitia said, if I wasn't in the UK, I'd come on that retreat. Definitely, yes. And anybody is welcome. So if you change your mind or if you decide to come, feel free. And same thing, Anita, if you're interested, please email me and I'll absolutely get you the info because I do have spots available and I'd love to have you there. All right, so before I move on into astrology real quick, I just did a cute little one-word intuitive message for each aspect of our life: work, love, family, and spirit. So in your work life, the one word I got for us intuitively is patience in career. Patience. Have patience in your career, in your work life. Patience is the theme this week. In love, love is all about play this week. Play, be playful, have fun, follow your sense of playfulness and joy and inner child energy in your love life. That is going to bring you lots of good vibration. In your family life, family is all about connecting this week. Connect to your family. Allow yourself to recognize those family patterns, those ancestral patterns, those lineages of that lineage of understanding, those patterns in your lineage. Connect to that, understand it, reflect, and connect to your family. And then spiritually, in our spiritual growth, the intuitive word for that is to be. To be. Just be who you are. Be in yourself. Be present. Be love. Be light. Just be. Let that stillness, just like somebody spoke about just now, that stillness is be. And so our spirit wants to be still. It wants to be present. It wants to be connected. So do that. And love will get you through. Love will get you through the intensity. That's my last message on the spirit side, spirit messages side. Love will get you through. That's a Sade song that just kind of came up out of nowhere. That was really cool and in my mind, and I just thought it was really perfect. Love will, or what was it? Love will get you through. Love will get you through. So use that as a mantra. Remind yourself that love will get you through. All right, let's go into the astrology. We have a few things to talk about in astrology, and then we'll pull some cards for this week at the end. So don't go anywhere. Give yourself a little time to take a stretch if you need to. I know it's been almost an hour already. Shimmy, shimmy. Do a little exercise, a little fun, a little frolic, a little movement of the body, so that we can keep this energy going. I know we're moving into a lot of energy today, and so the reading's a little bit longer than usual, but it's all this goodness we have to cram into this time together. So I really wanted to make sure it was full and thorough for you. All right, astrology, only a few little astrological events here this week. Monday, October 7th, we are feeling the sun squaring Saturn in Capricorn on Monday. That's tomorrow. And this actually really connects to that aspiration card that we pulled for this weekend from last week's reading, because the Capricorn energy is all about drive, aspiration, the ability to be functional and productive. And the sun is all about action and movement and shining light where light is needed. And Saturn, so sun is squaring Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn is all about lessons and awareness and responsibility and learning. And so we're really called to act on clearing any personal boundaries, clearing any resistances, clearing any limitations, and also jumping into more of our responsibilities through the lessons we've learned so that we can maintain inner peace. We need that balance. So we have a lot of need as well on Monday to reflect on how we bring balance into our life given our productivity and our aspirations, making sure that we're not overly aspiring and causing ourselves to overwork, overstress, over control, over force things, and then also making sure that we're not overly surrendered to our aspirations, where we're just like, it'll happen whenever it happens, it'll just land in my lap and I'll just lay on the couch and watch the day go by until it lands in my lap, right? That's a little bit too lax, right? So you want to find a balance. You want to find a balance in your aspirations. You want to find a balance in your drive and determination. You want to find a balance in your ability to connect to what you need to do and how you need to do it, so that you find that inner peace through that balance. Because that's when the resistance and tension comes up, when you're kind of on one side, you're leaning to one side and you can't really figure it out, so you're kind of walking like this and you can't see things right. So you want to be balanced, right? You want to be like centered. All right, so freedom to flow and open to receiving what space we are in with our thoughts and action. That's also part of the balance and part of the Tenten Portal that we move into on Thursday, October 10th, is about flow and figuring out where we're at when we're there. So settling into the present moment. This is a question that you can ask yourself throughout this week that will really help you. What is my present moment consciousness at this time? What am I focusing on right now? What is my energy fueling? And the kind of paradox that you want to focus on is it fueling my light or is it fueling my shadow? Or you can also use the example, is it fueling my insecurities, my fears, or is it fueling my faith, my trust, my intuition, right? Or is it fueling my ego, or is it fueling my spirit, my intuition, right? So you can kind of use whatever duality that you feel like you might be in between and ask yourself that, because that's incredibly important. Just tapping into where you're at in the present moment, because we've got so much intense energy. Our energy is going to change every moment. We might feel really great and really in alignment right before we leave the house. And then as soon as somebody cuts us off in traffic, we're like in our shadow, right? So give yourself some time to like readjust and notice when those things change, so that you can get yourself back on track. So Thursday, October 10th, we talked about the portal. The portal opens on October 10th, which is Thursday. We're resetting, we're reconnecting, and we're rebooting our energy. I know we had that rebirth, that completion of rebirth with the Pluto going direct last week, but this 1010 portal opening up kind of integrates it even more into our physical experience and into our awareness by allowing us to fully reboot, recharge, and feel into the emerging, the newness, the uplifting energy, the buildup of positivity, our connection to truth, our connection to our spirit, our connection to what's behind the veil. That's what we're moving into with this 1010 portal. And it made me think about a wedding veil because I think it's kind of synchronistic. I have a lot of people getting married around me right now, and I've heard a lot about weddings lately. And so it is kind of like a wedding veil, the veil between spirit and the physical world. And so when you unveil, you lift the veil through meditation, which is why meditation is such a important card pull for this month's energy. When you kind of lift the veil, it reveals a new beauty. Just like in a wedding, it reveals the beauty of the bride, right? It reveals the truth. It reveals the bride's true face, the bride's true expression, the bride's true aesthetic, right? And so, and the true love, right? It reveals the true love on her face, the joy, the bliss. It reveals unity between the bride and her partner, and that feeling of commitment in that revealing of truth, right? So the veil is just such a perfect analogy for this thinning, border between spirit and the physical, because it is like a veil. And when you meditate, you start to see, you reveal more beauty, more truth, more unity, more commitment in your life and in yourself. So meditate. That's all I'm going to say. Just keep meditating this October, because it's going to really make a difference in your life. Your thoughts and actions are also a big part of that. So make sure you maintain and be mindful of your thoughts and actions in the ways we just spoke about too. And then astrologically on Saturday, we have purpose, passion, and intellect coming together with Venus opposing Uranus. We feel shifts in love and relationships on Saturday the 12th. We're going to want to avoid drama. That's a deal. Remember, the intuitive word that I got for love life is play. So be playful in that awareness of shifts in relationships and love. Don't take them so seriously. Don't make them a big deal. Avoid drama. Avoid any kind of confrontation that doesn't feel good. Allow yourselves to reset if there's some emotional flooding or anger or frustration that's happening. Give yourself a couple minutes to reconnect to yourselves before discussing it again, and really just be playful with each other, playful and understanding. Really allow yourself to play with their understanding of things. Okay, they're presenting me something that I don't agree with, but instead of instantly pushing it away and fighting it away, can I be playful with it? Can I let my mind go there a little bit? Can I let my mind just be playful with understanding their perspective? Doesn't mean you have to agree, but let yourself be a little bit more playful than so resistant, right? So with any unexpected love shifts, just know that that purpose, passion, and intellect is coming. You can tap into that with meditation and with your ability to connect more. And then October 13th, which is Sunday, I am going to talk a little bit about the full moon in Aries right now, but I'm going to save a good amount of it for Sunday as well. We'll be really activated in that energy that day, and we'll be doing another live reading. But on October 13th, we're going to feel empowerment, the divine feminine energy coming fully forward again, cycles in spiritual force and connection. And that Aries full moon is going to give us just a ton of fast-paced energy and self-discovery, independence. We're going to kind of hit the ground running from all of this portal, 1010 portal emergence into our being. We're going to be unapologetically ourselves in this Aries full moon. And the Aries full moon also has a T-square to Pluto, which means that we're going to have even more rebirthing activations from that Pluto going direct that we had last week, and then this portal this week. And then on Sunday, we're going to have this ability to really initiate our identity of ourself and feel completely true to ourself. That veil is going to be up, and we're going to see ourselves truly. We're going to see the beauty of our experience. We're going to see the beauty of our spirit. We're going to see the beauty of ourselves, the unity of ourselves, the balance, the connection. So the Aries full moon is going to be an amazing, amazing event. So I'll talk more about that on Sunday for the live weekly reading then, because I do these every Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time. But I will also say that for the Aries full moon, intuitively, just what I want to talk about for a second, it is a lot about trailblazing. It is a lot about being uniquely you, but not forcing it. It's about allowing yourself to notice what you naturally do that is unique and beneficial to the world, and putting more energy into that, amplifying that more. It's not about trying to force a way to be unique or trying to be unique like other people are unique. It's about finding your own natural true uniqueness, your own natural true beauty, and embellishing on that, amplifying that, building upon that, expressing it more, and fearlessly, unapologetically jumping into that energy. That's really what we want to do for that Aries full moon, and that's what we want to set intentions for. So in this week, as we prep for Sunday, allow yourself to meditate on how you are unique, what natural unique characteristics are within you, and how they benefit the world. Meditate on how to move more into that energy and acceptance of yourself in that way, and how to release any resistances to being fully activated in your truth and your self-expression and your identity, as well as your independence, because we have a lot of that energy of movement and productivity happening right now. So if you're really good about knowing how you're unique and how you're amazingly unique, how can you be more productive in that? How can you be more prosperous and you're exposed upon it in that way, but of that energy too? So it may be more about your independence in that regard than your individuality, if you feel pretty secure in your individuality. And same thing vice versa, if you're more secure in your independence but not so secure in how you're individual, allow yourself to really reflect on that. Okay, so that's really what we want to do to prep for the full moon in Aries and to get nice and ready for it. And if you don't know, any moon energy, it always has a window of energetic influence around the date. So it's not just the date, it's not just Sunday, October 13th, that you're going to only feel the full moon energy in Aries. You're also going to feel it a few days before and a few days after, usually 2 to 3 days before and after, you'll feel that energy. So you can work in a very activated space and a very intentional and deliberate space with that full moon energy for that entire 6-day period if you want to. So let yourself enjoy that as well, and let yourself kind of reflect on how you evolve in that energy also. All right, let's see how you guys feel about that before we pull some cards, and I'll be on my merry way. Let's see. Yes, Letitia said being so mindful. Part of my lifting of the veil then is slowly coming into my real name. It actually felt awkward, which makes me want to play with and introducing myself sometimes as Letitia. Life's funny. Yeah, I know. And I keep forgetting that you prefer Tisha. And so it's kind of like spirits making me call you that. So maybe that is a message for you. I'm glad to help that. She said, and I shared my music on Instagram for the first time this week, which led me to connecting with a musician. And she put her guest list for her show tomorrow. Wow, what a gift. See? So putting yourself out there, so important. So let yourself claim your independence and your individuality and put yourself out there. So important. All right, let's take a couple of deep breaths just to integrate all that energy, allowing ourselves to come together as one, all of us here live and everyone else watching on the replay. Hello to all of you as well. Let's take a nice deep breath together in and out, relaxing, releasing any distraction, releasing any tension from the body, releasing any doubt, fear, judgment. Another deep breath in, welcoming in love, bliss, play, gratitude. And exhaling to relax, relaxing into our connection to our inner being. And another deep breath in, expanding, opening up to Spirit Guides messages for this week, 10:6 to 10:13. And exhaling to receive and open up to the messages. You can keep your eyes closed and continue breathing, or if you'd like, you can go ahead and watch me pull these cards. Beginning of the, oh, maybe not. Beginning of the week card coming up for us from the Spirit Messages deck with our beautiful blue butterflies on top. I love this deck. Just asking for guidance from Spirit on what we need to know or understand about the beginning of this week. 2 cards from the Spirit Messages deck. Wow, very exciting. Lots of energy, so that makes sense. All right, Angels of Atlantis deck coming up for the middle of the week card. Whatever we need to know for the middle of the week, bring it forward. And you all can ask questions to the cards if you need to. They will give you a message of your own as well. And then end of the week cards, let's play a little game. Are we doing the Voyager deck, everyone, or are we doing the Goddess Isis cards? Which one? Whoever says it first gets the pick, Voyager or Isis. You can say V or I, whatever you say, I will follow. Whoever the next person to comment is. Isis says Letitia, Tisha, whatever you choose, whatever beautiful name you choose. I love them both. All right, Isis is coming forth with an end of the week card. There it is, beautiful. Came right up, thank you for that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, first 2 cards. Oop, there goes some of my crystals, whoopsies. My hands got a little full. I got too many crystals, guys. I need to have oh, there goes another one. The universe is playing with us. You see that? They're just throwing crystals out of my crystals. Okay, so beginning of the week card, find your center and dream talk. Okay, so we are going to be finding our center with our dreams. A lot of us may be having very active dreams, very activating dreams, very intense dreams or synchronistic dreams. Allow yourself to reflect on your dreams, maybe start a dream journal or just be more attentive to what your dreams mean by reflecting on the symbology and the ability to understand your center within it. I'm going to read these cards as well for an added explanation. Find your center card says your outside world is a reflection and manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time. Maybe what's going on in your dreams at this time. Your outside world, let me say that again, your outside world is a reflection and manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time or inside your dream talk. When the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety starts to overwhelm you, then this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? Yes. So what I'm getting from that understanding too is that our dreams are going to be part of that ability, bringing forth the awareness on what we need to check in with ourselves on. So you may have dreams about certain fears that you have. You may have dreams about certain anxieties you have. You may have dreams about certain just things you've been trying to hide from yourself or not face, and that's letting you know that it's time to check in with those things. You've got to check in with yourself and find your center in that, face some of those energies so that you can get clear on them. Dream Talk says your subconscious constantly and subtly speak through your dreams. It's just one of the many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, messages, and more. Patty's here. Hey, Patty. Feeling those cards? Yes. So allowing yourself to find your center through Dream Talk. All my crystals fallen. But yes, what beautiful cards. Aren't they good? They're gorgeous too. And this finding your center is a lot about your root chakra and your creative center as well. And then Dream Talk, very airy, very third eye, and even throat chakra as well. Okay. So that's the beginning of the week. That's just for the beginning of the week. That's a pretty intense and complex message already, but let's go into the middle of the week. The middle of the week. Metatron with miracles. Metatron with miracles. I just love this card. And I love this because it's a looks like a parent or an adult, a guardian holding a baby's hand and this baby. And I think that's so significant because we are rebirthing. Remember, we talked about that with the Pluto going direct. Last week, we talked about that with the Tenten Portal. This week, we're going into our individuality. We're opening into our alignment of emerging into our newness of self. And that's going to bring us miracles. So just like new babes, we are being born into new levels of our consciousness, new levels of our life and experience, new roles and in our life that we're playing, and that brings us miracles and awareness. And anybody who may have some little miracles coming forth, that might also be a message for you as well, little babies coming forth into this physical world. But overall, we are experiencing miracles with Metatron. So we want to allow ourselves to reflect, be aware, meditate upon our miracles, love and be grateful for our miracles, and fully step into that abundance. And then the last card, the end of the week card, is the Knot of Isis. The Knot of Isis from the Goddess Isis deck. Thank you, Tisha, for bringing us into the Goddess Isis deck for this final message of the week. The Knot of Isis has a message. I will read it for you. It says, part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with this goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connections to the goddess Isis. And the goddess Isis is all about rebirth. It's all about creativity. She's a mother goddess of the stars, so she's about cosmic connections as well. Goddess Isis is about emerging and life, and so it's just so perfect. I mean, it's like you can't make this up, right? So protection, power, and abundance, her energy is coming forth for that. I'm going to pull one card as well from the Voyager just for the moon. Since Tisha chose the end of the week card for the Isis deck, we'll choose the Voyager just for the moon card. I just want to know if there's anything that Spirit has for us as far as additional guidance as to how to prep for the full moon in Aries. So any energy coming forth for that, please. I would appreciate it, guides, and thank you. All right. Censor. This card is awesome. The top of the cards you can never see because they're so bright, but Censor card. And this card is really talking about sensing energy, being able to feel into the energy around you and really able to feel into your energy antennas kind of extending so that you can feel energy. Cats are really good at feeling into energy. They can kind of feel our energy from far away, and you can feel them, and you can notice their sensual energy. And even Bassett came through a couple weeks ago talking about sensuality through change and transformation and rebirthing. So I feel like that's her saying, hey, I'm still here. Be sensual through change. Let yourself feel into the energy around you. Let yourself feel into all of that experience. And so just feel into sensing energy for this moon. That's how you want to prep for the full moon in Aries, is to just start to extend out your energetic antennas, imagining antennas for spirit just kind of extending out of your body, and notice what you pick up from that, okay? All right, so quick review. Find your center through Dream Talk. Find your center through Dream Talk in the beginning of the week. Miracles in the middle of the week with the beautiful Archangel Metatron. The Knot of Isis for power, protection, creativity, abundance, and new life. And Censor, feeling into our sensual connection to energy and our ability to sense it all around us. I love you all so much. I just want to tell you a couple of announcements real quick. Again, those specialty readings are on sale now until I leave for Belize on the 21st for $90. So $20 off for the specialty readings until I leave or until my schedule fills up. So message me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com or at readingsbyrissa on Instagram. Also, I have a ton of events coming up at Abundance Space before I leave for Belize, so definitely check that out at Abundance Space on Instagram, or just message me for specifics on what events I have coming up. I've got the Channel and Chill, I've got the Conscious Creative Circle, and a couple of other things. And then I did post the Kuan Yin and Archangel Michael channel about a week or so ago, so definitely check that out. It is on the YouTube page. It's on the video feed. You can also go into the channeled messages playlist, and it's on there as well. So check that out, because I think those two guides had a lot to say that will really help ease your mind, ease your heart, and bring you into a really nice place of peace for all of this energy around you. So I love you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Again, the Belize retreat, if you're interested, please email me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. I still have seats open. I'm going to stop taking entries on the 10th. Okay. So that will be my last day to have people sign up. So message me for that. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you so much. Enjoy this 1010 portal opening up. Enjoy this abundance energy. I'm so proud of all of you for the way in which you move and navigate through everything you go through. We've been doing this for almost a year together. It's amazing. I can't believe we've been doing these weekly readings that long. And I'm just so grateful. Mary Banks says, thank you, love. Letitia says, beautiful. Thank you, wise goddess, you as well. Anita says, third clairsentient message today I have received. Beautiful. Kiwi says, thank you, my dear. And Jasenia as well. Goodbye, my dear. Leslie, thank you so much for your guidance, goddess Rissa. Have a blissful week, vibers. I am so grateful for this wonderful soul family. So am I. Hedwig, love and light to you all. Yes, absolutely. Bahamian Princess, love to you all. Anita, I am grateful to you. Bless you always. Bless you as well. Thank you, Marie, as well. So many blessings to you all. I love you all. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week, next Sunday, 1:11 p.m. Central Time, right here on my channel. Peace.